Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. Today I'm looking at an interesting approach when it comes to kind of blockchain game services. It's from a company called Moonify, who are French. Pretty early days for them, but they've got some interesting tech that I thought kind of worth looking at. So this is kind of one example. This is kind of like the prototype thing, I guess they would see it as. Web page called loot.game. So what loot.game is pretty straightforward. It's a kind of a game reward service where you can get stuff like Hearthstone boosters for free. Well, it says here for free, but look, actually 49,000 of these tokens. These tokens are earned when you effectively do cryptocurrency mining using this browser. So there's a few other games. These are not particularly well-known games, but we can kind of get an idea about what's going on in terms of the reward structure. So we have a little arrow up here, and if we click this arrow, we're starting to do this kind of mining, crypto mining stuff. We can actually play around with these, speed it up a little bit, and we're doing some crypto mining. So there we go. So it's actually gone up 0.1. Okay, so is it actually working? So what's interesting about this kind of what we might call kind of micro crypto mining stuff is we've seen this quite a bit in the past, but maybe 6 months, 12 months ago, when companies were kind of saying use your CPU, your GPU, your electricity, and mine this currency. Obviously, back then the kind of era of cryptocurrencies was a bit different. People were still thinking that I can't mine Bitcoin anymore, but Bitcoin price has gone up massively, so maybe I'll find something, the next Bitcoin, and I'll mine that at home, and then I'll make loads of money. That era's totally gone now. So obviously, if you're mining these kind of big, I guess they'll proof of work, Bitcoin, Ethereum type things, you need proper, very expensive rigs, and you need cheap electricity, really. This is sort of different. So this is what I call micro mining. So you are mining cryptocurrencies. You are using your resources to do that, but you're not making money on it. In a sense, all you're doing is using resources and transferring it to a currency. But you're probably losing a bit of money in the process in terms of like kind of raw fiat currency, dollars or whatever. If I want to buy these card packs for Hearthstone, and I liked Hearthstone, I would probably just use my credit card. Certain places in the world that's not quite the case. So other places I might have a credit card, I might have a bank account. In certain places in Africa or Asia, I might have cheaper electricity. Probably wouldn't have great electricity in some of those places, and I might not have a particularly high-end PC. But you can kind of imagine, in the wider scheme of micro mining, cryptocurrency stuff, a resource that kind of uses a bit of processing power and then gives people this kind of almost like a reward currency that happens to be a cryptocurrency could be quite useful, but it's still early days for this kind of stuff, and in the West it's very, very different, I think. But it's interesting, I guess, with a lot of these kind of things, for the company behind it, for Moonify, if they can get a lot of people using it, then that suddenly they get an interesting kind of network effect. Quite whether they can do that with this kind of proposal, I'm not sure at the moment, but as I say, I think it's early days. And there is kind of other stuff they can do. So we can see here, I can get the app, and I can get the app, and then I can boost my speed, so I can collect this kind of stuff faster. So let's go and have a look at the app and see how that makes things a little bit different. Okay, so I've downloaded the Windows app, installed it. I've also signed up, registered for my account, and this is what we get. So the coin actually is called Moonis. I don't really know how you pronounce it. The company's called Moonify, and this is called Mooniz. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, we can see what's going on here. So it's a similar sort of thing to the web browser. So we can see here, I'm running it at the moment. I've got my balance is 109.01. We can see here the current rate per hour. So this is roughly, what's that, 2.5 hours worth, and see how much I might be earning a day. This obviously depends on your computer you're running on, and you do actually have the options to mess around with how much resources you're using on your computer. So you can just have it in idle mode, or you can have it on all the time. Up to you, really. What's interesting, this is obviously, should point out, this is obviously kind of fairly bare bones as a UI. I'm sure, say this is early days for these guys, so things will get a bit more complex. But going to coin selection, so we can see a few other things here. Actually, three other coins, as well as these Moony ones. So bit crystal, I can, if I want to start collecting those, I can just hit that, start collecting that. It changes. Should change in a minute anyway. Should change to. How did it do it? So I can just start mining these ones. So this is actually a currency that was used for some of the early blockchain games. Not used so much now, but used for some games still. Says Monero. So Monero is a kind of crypto, kind of privacy-focused cryptocurrency. There's these guys, and also Electronium. So Electronium is kind of interesting in the sense, it's nothing to do with games, but it's actually designed as a micro mining cryptocurrency. Actually designed to be mined on phones, so you can download mobile apps, and then kind of mine this new kind of currency. Again, all these kind of things. It's kind of, you can do it technically. I guess it's not so hard. I'm sure it's harder than I think, but not so hard to do. But what are people going to use it for? I guess that's the interesting issue, because the people aren't going to get rich on it, and you need to make people realise they're not going to get rich on it. So what are they going to use it for? And I guess that's the wider question that you have going on here. So, you know, it's what it is. It works. Also worth pointing out here that if I go back to the website and log in, there we go. So this is loot.game again. So we can see here, I've logged in. So it's got my balance. There we go. So it all kind of works. I guess what will be interesting to see is how much traction these guys get. In terms of the wider ecosystem, they are working with RoboCash. So RoboCash is a kind of upcoming PC game distribution platform using the blockchain, and also has this kind of micro mining mechanic. They're using the Moonify system, as far as I believe, and other companies, if they want to, can get the SDK in order to embed this into their websites and that kind of stuff. So we'll see how far they get. I think it's interesting. I think it generally works. I've had a few kind of issues on PCs with things maybe not working, depending on how much mining is going on in the background. I'm sure all that kind of stuff can be fine-tuned. Like at the moment, you can see it's actually not updating. So I've noticed this sometimes can happen depending on what you've got running in the background, that it's not actually showing that it's working properly. But there we go. Generally, it seems to be working okay. And certainly, I'm always interested in these kind of technologies. So I'll keep an eye on it. Thanks for watching the video. So we're all about blockchain games on Blockchain Gaming World, and spending time playing the games, seeing what's going on behind the scenes in a technical point of view, and also looking at these kind of game services. I think that's kind of pretty interesting. So if you're interested in that too, don't forget to subscribe. Give me any comments in the comments box, of course. But thanks for watching this one, and hope to see you again soon.